I've been on the client side of a designer relationship, and I know that giving feedback in words on something that is visual is difficult to do in some cases. Do you have any guidance for like a project lead at a nonprofit on how they can get their team to give useful feedback that goes beyond like, I want more sizzle,
Right.
or this
Yeah.
is too quickly. How can someone give good verbal feedback or written feedback on something visual?
Yeah. I have to say when I do get feedback on a client project where there's some sort of a creative direction to say, make this jazzier or something like that, I always laugh because to me that's totally subjective. Um, and so in most cases, I like to have sort of an initial feedback review in person on Zoom, showing or in person talking about the designs and sort of I personally gauge my clients' expressions. I gauge their reactions to how they're receiving the work that we do. And that allows me to sort of get a sense as to have I matched their expectations. So for example, when I present a logo design and I see, eyes I'll open up all over the place, with excitement, to me, that's a success. But I've also seen the opposite where, there's some confusion or, some sort of a visceral like, oh, that's not what I was looking for. So the first part is really having, a good meeting, a good creative session where you can really get the feedback and the feeling of, how the clients are receiving that, but then always follow it up with actual words, actual email with a punch list of some things itemized. When I'm on the phone and I'm presenting ideas, I'm not taking physical notes. I'm just trying to gauge the reaction and to really listen. So it's important to have a follow-up after that, which says, hey, here's what we discussed. We'd like to see this version, perhaps executed, with a different color scheme, or we actually liked an element from this version. We'd like to see how that might interact with this one. And, a follow-up is always really important after sort of that initial sort of creative review meeting.